You are a self-described feminist. What is a woman?
Why do you want to know?
I'm infinitely curious.
What's a man?
You're looking at one.
You're saying these things because you're trying to get a gotcha.
You're a feminist. Shouldn't you be able to tell me what a woman is?
Women.
Use your brain.
You're a woman.
Incorrect.
Okay, I'm gonna educate you. If you were biologically born with women parts, you're a woman.
I'm being educated about my gender.
In today's world, debates around feminism and gender have become more intense than ever. Some of the most interesting moments happen when these debates take unexpected turns, with strong opinions being challenged head-on.
Are you a cat?
No.
Can you tell me what a cat is?
In the clips you're about to see, outspoken individuals take on woke feminists, leaving them on the receiving end of sharp, fact-based counter-arguments. Starting off, conservative commentator Charlie Kirk put a feminist on the spot by asking her to define what a woman is, a question he deemed fundamental to the feminist cause. But she struggled to provide an answer to it.
I'm a feminist, and I don't hate men.
Okay, so you are a self-described feminist. What is a woman?
Why do you want to know?
I'm infinitely curious.
What's a man?
You're looking at one.
You're saying these things because you're trying to get a gotcha.
You're a feminist. Shouldn't you be able to tell me what a woman is?
I'm a feminist.
Isn't that probably important to feminism? What is the woman that you're trying to advance and protect?
Bruh.
Isn't that integral to? Is that the whole feminist project? The war
Asking
against
what a woman is the only way that you can get a gotcha over everybody else. Why is it so important to you to define things in certain categories? How does that help your day-to-day life? Like
what other categories in the human species are there besides male and female?
Well, I just think that categorization is usually unhelpful when we're trying to improve society, right?
I have XY chromosomes.
Okay.
Can I give birth?
No, you can't.
Bingo. That's why categorization matters.
Burn.
In a similar vein, Kirk posed the same question to a group of feminists, prompting an array of responses that revealed the ambiguity of their stance.
What is a woman?
A woman is somebody who presents as our social conception of womanhood.
Can you answer that question without using the word woman or womanhood?
It's because basically it would be a functional definition. So as a society, we have an understanding of what woman is.
What is that?
Man.
Yeah, that's basically.
I am a man. XY chromosomes. You can't give me a definition without using the word woman. Can you give me any sort of biological definition of what a woman is?
It's a person who performs a set of social roles that are typically associated with feminine characteristics.
Do you think anyone can become a woman?
Yep.
Okay, so then at what point do they become a woman?
It will depend on where they are in their gender transition for the most part.
Does it require drugs to become a woman?
No.
Personally, I think it's a mindset. It's a spiritual energy. It's the vibe that you give off. You know, like
I'm a woman.
That's the best answer.
I mean, theoretically, it's someone who's born with a womb, but this generation obviously has proven that men can turn into women.
I think what constitutes as a woman is the energy that you give off and that you want to put out into the world.
How can we debate feminism if we can't agree what a woman is?
But that wasn't all. In another clip, Kirk dismantles the arguments of a modern feminist, leaving little room for debate.
If I sit down with men, what do they always talk about? They talk about macro concepts, big things, stock market, sports. Women, if you sit down, they'll talk a lot about conversations or relationships, their kids, very micro. One of the reasons why men and women brains are different, and they continue to be different, is there's different skill sets. And I think we can all acknowledge that. Like, men are better at some things than women, and women are better at some things than men. I don't know why that is overly
The way that you frame it is like, oh, women are awesome at like small talk and like sewing or whatever, and then men are just awesome at like the stock market and being CEOs.
Let me why is it that the International Chess Foundation doesn't want biological men who believe they are women to compete with women? They say that will not allow trans men into the female category. Why is that?
I can't speak to that, but if you're going to talk about like representation being the thing that lets you know that, oh, men are obviously smarter.
I never said smart. I said different. My wife does things with my child that I can't even dream of doing. I trust my wife's gut when it comes to people, when it comes to relationships, and she leans on me for, investments or politics.
Kirk also flips the script on a feminist feminist activist in a quick but pointed exchange.
Believe that we live in a patriarchy and it negatively affects women?
No.
No.
Yeah, so for example,
Yeah.
men are more likely to commit suicide,
Yeah.
more likely to die at work, more likely to declare bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Women are far less likely to be in credit card debt, far more likely to graduate from college,
Yeah.
far more likely to get a high-paying job.
What's
People
a
that-
man and woman to you? What's the difference between them?
Well, a man is in, you're looking at a man, and I think I'm looking at a woman, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, there's, yeah, thank you.
God, you're so funny.
In this next clip, a feminist tries to claim that men and women are equally suited for physically demanding jobs like construction. However, she quickly finds herself schooled when faced with the harsh realities of the labor force.
That also plays into the systematic stuff that I was talking about, because a lot of women can't get jobs in construction. They
Have
get
you ever tried to be
turned
a
down.
concreter?
Yeah. No, but I totally would.
Okay, why aren't you?
Because I'm not educated on it.
Why don't you
BNA.
go and get educated on concreting?
I totally would. Like, as soon as I get things straightened out,
Sure.
I want a different field.
Well,
I'm tired of the medical
let
field.
me tell you this, and you can disagree with me if you'd like. You wouldn't last 2 minutes as a concreter, because unfortunately,
I'd like to try to prove people wrong.
in the modern world, you can think that all you want, and that's because your life is so comfortable that you can have that strain of thought. But the fact of the matter is that I did concreting for a few months, and I didn't last, and I'm not a weak guy, but these guys are some of the hardest people you'll ever meet in your life. They are up at the crack of dawn every day, breaking their backs.
Oh,
You
yeah.
would not last a single day. You can sit here and say girl power all you'd like, you wouldn't last a day. I
An
guarantee it.
interviewer goes head-to-head with a modern woman over family dynamics and relationships, challenging her views and offering a different perspective that leaves her visibly shaken.
You said a stay-at-home mom is equivalent to a man working...
No, to
working
2.5
jobs. To working 2.5 jobs.
Yes.
Well, we can't say it's compared to that. The reason why is because I know I have 2 kids. My woman stays at home and she does things, right? So the difference, what she does, she stays at home, she takes care of the kids, and that dynamic is, she's doing laundry all the time, she's cooking, dinner is made, she's doing her whole thing. But she just has that to worry about. She has herself and the humans she created, right?
Right.
That I created. But she's there with the kids. But anyways, I'm competing with the world. She's not competing with anyone. So my job is stressful. Hers can be stressful.
I think I'm more looking at the workload of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, but it's
because
not
that's
even
where you get to work, like say a 9 to 5. Because I've done it before.
Yeah.
Like I was a stay-at-home mom for almost 3 years. So as where you get to go to work, say 8 to 4 every day.
Yep.
My job never ends. Like I'm through the night, every day, in the morning when they wake up. Like it never ends. That's kind of where I'm. Like
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying.
I'll say this. I get what you're saying, but logically it doesn't make sense. And the reason why, here's the reason why. So if you truly think about it, you got to change your vocabulary, change the words you use, and then you'll understand. Stay-at-home moms and women that's, because you said that you were a stay-at-home mom.
I was.
Yeah, so you were in that position. And you woke up every day and you're living in your mind. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. Women tend to live in their mind because they, are slaves to their emotions in most cases. So when you're living in your mind, you wake up and you think, oh, I have to take care of the kids. I have to do laundry. I have to do this. No, you want to change your language and say, I get to take care of these beautiful kids. I get to do laundry. I get to not work and have a man that's taking care of all the bills for me. I get to do this. If you change your vocabulary, you'll change your mindset and you'll be thinking like, oh, wow, you'll be more appreciative of the things in a situation that man put you in for you to not have to go out there and work and compete with the world. But the thing is, your vocabulary is all messed up.
Because making money isn't easy to do either.
I agree.
In this clip, a man challenges a feminist on the topic of pronouns and biological facts, leaving her stunned as he presents a straightforward argument rooted in science.
My preferred pronouns. What do you think my preferred?
What do you mean? What does that even mean?
Use your brain.
You're a woman.
Incorrect.
Okay, I'm gonna educate you. If you were biologically born with women parts, you're a woman.
I'm being educated about my gender identity.
You don't. So gender identity is a lie. It's fake. There's only 2 genders: a man and a woman. And let me ask you a question.
So surprised
How many gender identities are there in nature? How many genders are in a lion?
Oh my goodness.
No, because look, if it's natural, it should be in nature. So let me ask you a question. How many genders do a lion have?
One sec.
How many genders do a monkey have? How many genders do a zebra have? How come human beings, if this was true and it's natural, how come human beings are the only one with gender fluidity? Because it's not true. Do horses have multiple genders? No.
Oh, snap! Ben Shapiro engages in a heated debate with a female student over why only boys should be in the Boy Scouts, delivering a succinct and logical argument that's classic Shapiro.
Okay.
But gender is a completely different thing.
No, gender is not disconnected from sex. So the idea that sex or gender are malleable is not true. And I'm not denying your humanity if you're a transgender person. I am saying that you are not the sex to which you claim to be. But if you are going to dictate to me that I'm supposed to pretend that men are women and women are men, no, I'm not going to modify basic biology because it threatens your subjective sense of what you are.
Okay, but you're still saying these kids should not be accepted because they don't really fit in either place?
I'm saying that the Boy Scouts have a standard. You must be a biological boy to be a Boy Scout. You have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout.
Where's that written though? Okay.
In the name Boy Scouts.
In this clip, a woman argues that women in relationships should be allowed to go to bars, while men should not be allowed to visit strip clubs. Her stance is swiftly dismantled in an instant.
Let's say your boyfriend was going to the strip club 2 times a week. Would you have an issue with that?
Yeah, because I feel like that's already an unspoken rule in a relationship. You don't
How?
go into the strip club.
Well, you shouldn't go to bars and clubs when you're in a relationship.
Is that an unspoken rule?
I mean, yeah, it is.
It kind
It's
of
like
is.
common sense.
You shouldn't really be partying with your single female friends, or single friends for that matter, if you're in a relationship.
What is the positive
Well, you
ROI
guys are
on-
older.
well,
Maybe
listen,
that's what you think in your own dating life, but we're young. That's not how it works for us.
She's 20 and she agrees with us. She's
Okay.
younger than you.
Okay.
So then your entire argument just went down the trash.
A man on the street asks a feminist a challenging question. If people can transition gender, according to her, can they also transition race? The question leaves her in a dilemma.
Can you identify as a black person?
No,
Why?
because I'm not black.
I'm not a woman, but I can identify as a woman according to you.
If you transition, maybe.
What defines a transition?
If that's your goal, you know?
If you believe it.
Sure.
If you believe you're black, why aren't you black?
Well, that's just not, that's like genetics. That's like ancestry.
You're also born a man or a woman. It's the same thing. That's also genetics.
Okay, I'm over it.
Talk show host Piers Morgan debates a feminist on gender transition, and as expected, it doesn't end well for her as Morgan drives his point home with precision.
It's not difficult, is it, Angelica? I mean, that is what a woman is.
I mean, I don't know why you're obsessed with defining it. Like, what is a man? Like, why do we need these arbitrary...
A man is a male adult human. I mean, that's it.
Right, okay, I don't know that we need
These are just biological facts, but they're just facts. They're not arguable points, are they?
But I think we have a right to self-identify, and you said
As
you
what?
want to...
As what?
If
Oh, hang
you'd
on.
like to be a woman, you can identify as a woman. I don't know why there is such an issue around...
We've literally just seen a male rapist use that scam to get himself put into a female prison where he could attack vulnerable women inside a female prison, when even his ex-wife said it was all a scam.
Which is a terrible, very distressing, isolated incident, and I think it's easy to take that and say that means that no one can identify as a woman, and
But
that's
it's not an isolated
fair.
incident, though.
But it's
42% of trans-identifying prisoners in prison are in there for sex crimes. There's actually an advantage, evidently, to identifying as a female because they never identify as male because somehow male prisons seem less appealing to them. It's really weird. Anyway, but
Is it limitless, this self-identity?
It's not totally limitless.
What's the
but
limit?
when you're talking about International Women's Day, I don't know why we take the conversation around International Women's Day and make it about this.
But if anyone,
there's so many benefits.
right? But if
to having
anyone,
a day.
according to you, can identify as a woman, anyone can, right?
I don't see a problem with
Just
someone-
literally put their hand up and say I'm a woman.
But it's not an easy thing to do to go out into
Actually,
the world.
it's incredibly
very
easy.
easy.
It's incredibly easy.
You might think it's easy to say, but to decide to do that, to say
What
this
does
is
doing
who,
it involve?
Whatever that person decides, but to
Does
go
it
out
involve
into the
makeup?
world and say I don't identify as perhaps the sex I
So
was
why
born
can't
as,
I
it's not-
identify? Okay, why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
Well, firstly, I mean, it was.
I'm serious. I'm serious. If I can identify as anything
Mhm.
without any need to prove I'm actually what that is, Why can't I, on International Women's Day, say I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian?
I think taking it to a kind of absurd status,
I think
we're
that's
talking about quite a
with
strong
respect, I think that
change.
you'd already opened the absurdity door by saying it is limitless. You can do what you like. Anyone can say, I'm a woman. So I simply ask you, why can't I?
I mean, this point kind of ridicules trans people to an extent.
Actually, I think what you said ridicules trans people, because actually people who go through the full process of transition, who actually go through what we used to call a sex change, which I don't think you can muck around with original biology, but those who actually go through surgical procedure over a number of years, I've got great respect for that very difficult journey they go on. I have zero respect for people who just wallop their hand up and go, suddenly, I'm a woman and I want all the rights that a woman has, and I want to compete, say in sport, I'm a 6'4" athlete, sprinter, swimmer, whatever, who's competed very mediocrely in male sport. I now want to come in and crush women in swimming pools and in sprinting events and break all their records, perhaps irrevocably, just by saying, I'm a woman. I think that is the absurdity you were talking about.
I advise you to come back to reality and quickly.
Matt Walsh manages to own a feminist with just a simple question, leaving her unable to respond.
So you're saying if you're not a woman, then you shouldn't have an opinion?
Where does a guy get a right to say what a woman is? Women only know what women are.
Are you a cat?
No.
Can you tell me what a cat is?
This is actually a genuine mistake. I am sorry I even came up there.
You want to tell us what a woman is?
Oh man, that was cold.
In this intense exchange, an interviewer spends a good chunk of time arguing with a feminist whose beliefs seem to override reality. Despite the facts staring her in the face, she refuses to back down, leading to a vigorous schooling session.
I identify as jacked, handsome, and wonderful and successful. Those are my preferred adjectives, right? You will hurt my feelings if you don't refer to me as jacked, handsome, intelligent, charming, and so I don't have, you have a right to freedom of speech. I don't have a right to control your language. That's not how it works. There's no right to not have your feelings hurt. There's no right to control other people's language. The right is on the other side. Okay. So yes, people should be polite and kind and civil within reason. But actually, if you are now trying to control someone else's language and force them to call you something, especially something that you are not, you don't have a right to do that at all. At all. That's not a right.
If I turned around and I said to you, from today, I'm going to be a virgin. Right? Yeah.
Hey, there are some of those.
Today,
The born again.
I'm going to be a virgin now.
Yes.
And everybody has to identify me as a virgin. Don't worry about the 3 grandchildren and my 36-year-old son. I'm going to be a virgin. And I'm not going to, and anybody else who says to me that I'm not a virgin, I'm going to sue them. I'm going to go to the newspapers and I'm going to be up in arms because I am now identifying as a virgin. And I said to you, you have to see me as a virgin. Would you feel happy about that? But
I think we keep creating examples that are not very relative to this conversation. Obviously, being a virgin, that is a very objective thing. Someone identifying as a man or woman, we've not been able to identify. We've not been able to explain what a man and a woman is.
We have.
If there was...
Everyone else has.
Well, you guys have, because you have one way of thinking and you've decided
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, honestly?
Yeah?
When did you start believing what you're saying now?
When I started listening to people, because it's not about me.
Honestly, when specifically did you start believing this?
To be fair, I've always grown up with that belief of let people be whatever they want to believe. And let me explain.
Okay.
I'm a minority, right? Being black in the UK especially, I know how hard it is when the majority think that you are in the wrong. And maybe that is that compassion that I have for them because we are the majority. We have the privilege because we were born as our gender. So we have the privilege to say, no, that's how you
Everyone
feel.
was born as their gender.
No. The gender that we identify as. But my point is that we are the privileged to be able to say that that is
Mhm.
our identity.
Mhm.
However, some people don't have that. And I feel like being a minority and knowing what it feels
Mhm.
like for somebody to be like, no, you're less than, or no, that's
wait,
no, let
can-
me finish.
okay, so you can-
Someone
okay, go
saying
ahead.
that's the way it should be.
Mhm.
No, I have a problem with that because,
Okay.
well, no. If I was on the other foot and I was
Mhm.
born as a man and I want to identify as a woman, I would be pissed off if somebody told me that I can't be what I want to be.
Nobody's
Because
saying that.
Nobody's
it
saying
doesn't
that.
affect you.
Nobody's saying that.
But you are, because
does affect
if I go
you.
into
I'm not saying. I'm saying you are not you are objectively not that thing. If you were sitting here telling me that you are white, right? I'll be like, you're not white. You can say that you are. You can feel like it. You can act like it. Whatever that means. You could even go and bleach your skin. You could do whatever you like. You have the right to do that. You're an adult. You have the right to do whatever you want. You can have cosmetic procedures. You can do what you like. But you are not white. Objectively, you're not. Like that's the thing. You know, identifying thing. It opens up an entire Pandora's box of anything because you can identify as anything, right?
So-
and as I said, I support someone's right to live their life as they want to. I'm not going to treat. I know more just because I know so many people. Period. I know more most people don't know any transgender people. I know multiple transgender people.
I know some.
Right? And I will treat any human being with respect and dignity and civility. What I will not do is distort the truth and lie to make someone feel happy. And you don't need to do that, right? You can respect people and be kind and be honest and also protect the truth. That's
but
what I
is
think.
it the truth though?
It
That's
is
what
the
I'm
truth.
trying to say. Because how do you? We humans are so complex.
But see, I agree with you.
So
But this
what
is one
they're
of
living is not the truth.
no. No.
In reality, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's very hypocritical to say.
No, it's not. It's not hypocritical. The reason I ask why I'm assuming you only started believing what you're saying quite recently.
I personally, I've never I don't know when I started believing it. I think I've always just grown up with, like I said, be whatever. As long as you're not hurting anybody.
When you were 15, okay.
I don't think I ever thought about it.
Okay.
I guess the conversation is coming up a
Yeah,
lot more.
of course.
And I decided I'm not going to tell someone how they feel. I'm not going to do that because who am I to tell you that you're not a woman?
Wait. The same person you are to say that this table is not circular and yellow.
That's objective. We humans can't be objective in
yes,
in everything that
but
we do. We can't be objective. We're too complex.
Can I just say,
Okay.
right? You was bringing up about being black and how you're used to people, you know, you're raised being black and being downtrodden, so you understand how they feel. You didn't choose to be black. That's the way you are. They're choosing to change their sex.
That's not what they believe, though.
I don't care whether
They
they
don't.
believe. I can believe that I'm white.
The self-identity thing does not work.
when we
It
look-
doesn't
I
work.
mean, there's so many different things. Oh, and then you can turn around
Yeah.
and say that I can say that I'm white. I'm speaking like this. What am I going to get called coconut? But nothing's going to change.
What about
Just-
height? I mean, some men are 5'4" and they'd much rather be 6'4". Can a man identify as 6'4"? He could genuinely feel. He could be very confident, and I feel like I'm in the wrong body. I'm 6'4", but you are objectively not 6'4".
Yeah, but
You can feel like
be
that.
judged by like the way you look. We can actually like measure you.
Uh-huh.
You don't look 6'4".
Okay, but
Being a woman, it can't.
Yeah, but
you can. We can take a cell from any part of a woman's body and look at it under a microscope, and you can see
So you think
XX
it's your
chromosome.
chromosome?
That's a woman. Absolutely.
That decides it.
But that gender
Are you-
woman, that gender person don't look like a woman.
Are you questioning? Hold on, wait. Are you questioning that it's not chromosome?
No. I'm not saying that it's. I just think that's a factor as a woman. I think some people, you can be a man. You can have the XX chromosome, and guess what? You could grow up being more masculine than anyone.
But that doesn't make you.
Doesn't make you a man.
A man.
You can be a masculine woman.
But you don't want
can
to
be a feminine man.
woman. Just because you have your XY chromosome,
I don't want to be broke, but sometimes I am.
In this clip, former UFC fighter Ronda Rousey is asked by a feminist reporter about her thoughts on gender pay gaps in sports. Rousey's logic leaves little room for opposition.
Rhonda, Lauren down here from the Herald Sun again. Just another quick one about Angela's question on equality just before. We've got quite a large pay dispute happening with our Australian women's soccer team at the moment. Is it frustrating for you as someone who's so prominent in your sport And we heard you say on the Ellen show the other day you are the richest fighter in UFC, that sort of thing is still going on.
I think that how much you get paid should have something to do with how much money you bring in. I'm the highest paid fighter, not because Dana and Lorenzo wanted to do something nice for the ladies. They do it because I bring in the highest numbers. They do it because I make them the most money. And I think that the money that they make should be proportionate to the money that they bring in.
These clips serve as a reminder that the debates surrounding feminism, gender, and identity are far from settled. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and comment so the algorithm pushes it to other people to enjoy. And subscribe to the channel for more content like this every week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.